Sorry, got to decide what went where here.
Yes.
Why was he given such?
He was, principal architect.
He was the dude.
Yeah, he was the dude. I mean, he designed the Uffizi.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh, and the hospital. Yeah,
he designed the Uffizi.
Yeah.
With a team of other dudes, right?
Oh, I had some help. But no, he was an architect. He designed a lot of good, history has been unkind to him.
Yeah, why is that?
Because he was also a propagandist and sycophant of the late Medici, who were assholes.
Right.
And a lot of his work extols things that, characteristics in the late Medici that were untrue, like their heroism and greatness, instead of their shittiness and shitosity.
Oh, I see. Sure. Yes. Yes, of course. This time over here, wasn't there some officious person telling you how to such?
Yeah. But I see other people doing it.
Yeah. There doesn't seem to be anybody else doing it.
This is the problem. The Moses was supposed to go up on the second story, 16 feet in the air, but we're seeing him here straight on. The sculpture is designed to be seen from a very low angle, not like this, and therefore we get a distorted view of it. In addition, if you take a look underneath Leah and Rachel, you'll see that in order to get them to fit in the niches, somebody just found some scrap cornice and stuck them under there. This is the whole ad hoc nature of this tomb. It was thrown together at the last minute. Nobody really cared. They just wanted it over with. And we're stuck with it today. I don't see any reason why we can't make changes to it. The change I'm talking about is to take the Moses and put him up about 30 inches on a new block of granite or marble. We would then see him from a lower angle. He would look bigger and he would look more impressive and to some small extent more as Michelangelo intended. What we're seeing now is what Michelangelo was seeing in his studio. He never intended for us to see it the way he did. And yet here we are, 500 years later. My problem is I don't know who to talk to see if this can even be done. When I was working on the question of the Moses, I took a good hard look at this figure of Rachel, which was a sort of a last-minute fix. And what I noticed was her garment. At her crotch, the gown wads up into a knot. Now, I'm not the first one to have noticed this, but scholars want to kind of mention it and make a nod to her fertility because she produced so many children, and then they want to move on. What I see in that knot is an anatomically precise, although somewhat rotated, vagina. Michelangelo dissected females, or he used female models. There's no way he could have created an abstraction of an actual anatomical feature that accurately just by guessing. We'll never know which he did. What, did he at some point hire a prostitute? Did he dissect a female corpse at Santo Spirito? We're told that he never
I don't
used
for a
anything
minute
but the male
think that
models.
the allegorical figures, day, night, dawn, and dusk, are big enough concepts. Let's start over. Okay?
Okay.
Sorry again.
Okay, we're
I don't think the idea of day, night, dawn, and dusk are big enough concepts to warrant all this energy. We have only a sketchy idea that Michelangelo thought of these as the times of day. It seems pretty clear to me that they also represent the seasons, which is not all that much better a concept. But if we take a look at the male figures, you can see that in each case, their legs are crossed. This is a standard Mithraic idea which represents the equinoxes, the spring equinox and the fall equinox. If that's true, this becomes Castor and Pollux. That makes night the figure of Leda, and it implies that one of these two figures may represent Zeus. What he's doing here is he's conflating a huge cross-section of mythology. We have Demeter, we have Minerva, we have Persephone, we have Earth Mother images. He's trying to compress as much multiple meaning into his work as he possibly can. And this is classic Michelangelo. There's no one meaning for any of his works, including the David. There are other interpretations that are just as valid as the one we have. It's dangerous to assume that we know what we're seeing when we look at a work by Michelangelo without reading it. And the danger there is that we end up reading into it. We're seeing what we want to see rather than what we can prove actually exists. In this case, there are too many references for this to be merely the idea of allegories of day and night and dawn and dusk and some sort of vague concept of time. This is much more specific than that.
we're going.
We're rolling?
Yep.
Okay, this wall composition is usually considered triangle. But what I noticed a long time ago is that his leg comes down, pointing directly at her head. And if you follow that line around, starting out, it follows his gaze, his arm, his leg, to her head and down her body and out and around. It's like a third of a circle. And same thing's happening here. The one who's coming down with his leg, going with his leg, he's down, and out like that. And obviously, these two figures form the lower circle of the third. That's right.
Okay, go.
Take a look at this. There's a composition of this piece. Height, oval. Gaze down his arm, down the leg, to the head. There's this huge inner circle of it's on the other side of the arm. Travels down his closed left side. Follows the leg down across the body of night and out again. And the two reclining fingers obviously form the third circle. So there's three interlocking circles that hold this together.
Vamos, yo mismo.